war in many countries, the tropical island nation of Palau is holding the fort in this COVID-19 battle. Well, the territory is one of a few nations still free of the deadly disease. Let's find out what they're doing right now amid this pandemic. And joining us on the final word is Olai Uludong, Palau Ambassador to the United Nations. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us on the program. Please share with us how Palau has been able to escape this COVID pandemic.
Well, Rico, you have to start early. We started in late January. We ensured that the flights from China and Hong Kong, and then of course in mid-March, then we closed our entire border, whether port of entry at the airport or shipping. We ensured that there was no cruise ships. Mid-March, everything was closed, locked our borders. And then, of course, in April, as you know, WHO has always said you have to prepare first.
Right.
So by the first week of April, we ensured that we were prepared. Thankful with all our partners, Taiwan, US, Australia, India. I mean, you know, they came to our call for preparedness. And yeah, by first week of April, we were prepared. We have the testing facilities and we're preparing now to bring our students and citizens home in the first phase. We're still closed, by the way.
That's right, that's right, Your Excellency. You are still closed, but for how much longer can you remain shut down? Because the bread and butter of Palau is tourism.
Right. Of course, that's a big question. It's not a question that we can all answer. I mean, Palau it remains the same situation with the rest of the world. But with the other countries, majority of the over 190 countries have COVID-19 cases. We don't. So we don't have the luxury to play that, to play that game. So right now we can only prepare and remain closed to ensure that, I mean, of course, we know economically we're going to be set back.
Yes.
You know?
But Ambassador, there is an idea right now to include not only Palau, but your other surrounding islands in a quarantine-free travel bubble with Australia and New Zealand, where infection rates are low, and even Taiwan. What does the government think of this strategy?
Well, of course, with the Australia and New Zealand bubble, we still have to learn and look at how that will transpire. But Australia and New Zealand are not the traditional source of market for tourism for Palau. We are geared toward Asia. I mean, as you know, Philippines is only an hour and a half away from Palau, and in Taiwan is literally, we have China Air and then Korean Air. So, I mean, the logical way is of course creating that bubble theory. But for now, I mean, that first you have to test it. So of course, our citizens and our students, once we get that phase of testing, I mean, that will enable us to know whether or not we can do a bubble theory, because a bubble theory is still a risk. It's a lot of risk. I mean, New Zealand is not COVID-free and Australia is not COVID-free. Palau is. So it is a risk, and right now we're working in ensuring first is our students and citizens, and then the next is that ensuring if it works.
What if we come to the point that Palau will reopen to several countries and you will eventually have COVID cases? Is the healthcare system ready to cope with infections?
Well, globally, Rico, I mean, every country in the world, their healthcare system wasn't prepared for this. So if you're asking us, if we have one case, are we ready? We don't know that yet because we don't have any case. The best, right now we don't have it, so it's a risk. But all the other countries are struggling. All the healthcare systems, as you know now, need need to be revamped to accommodate the COVID-19 pandemic.
Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word, and we wish you all the best, Your Excellency, and Palau, which is COVID-free. Palau's United Nations Ambassador, Her Excellency Olai Uludong, joining us from New York. And straight